Hello everyone, this is Bridgette Maria and welcome to my living room for gentle yoga and yoga therapeutics. So today I'm going to take you through some poses to help with opening up the body, create movement through all the systems of the body, and then work on your balance, your posture, your range of motion in your joints, muscular strength, muscular endurance, and then also stamina and relaxation and also release of anxiety. So it will help you with your sleep. So we're going to start in Sukhasana. I'm going to adjust the volume just a little bit. So we're going to start in Sukhasana, which is easy pose. So when we go into Sukhasana, you want to use a blanket, two blankets, and notice that the fringed edge of my blankets are on the opposite side and the folded edge is here. This is where my legs will fold, and I want to make sure that the edge that's more rough and not folded is to the back. Okay? So when you sit on the blankets, it's going to help your range of motion in your pelvis and create mobility from the pelvis through the legs. And it will help in your position and getting into the correct position. Most people are not always in the correct position. So you want to move the buttock flesh away from your sit bones. And then when you sit in Sukhasana, you want to make sure that the front calf is going to connect with the back shin. But if you don't have that range of motion yet, you can cross at the ankles until you develop it. So I'm going to cross from my shin to my calf, fold, okay? And once I achieve this, I want to make sure that I'm sitting evenly in my sit bones. So you want to be towards the front of your sit bones and not the back. So you don't want your back to be rounded. Okay, you want to be sitting upward. You can also use a wall to support your back. A lot of people have trouble sitting up. They don't have the strength in their back. So what you want to do is use a wall for this. And then from here, I'm going to allow my hips to relax at the hip joint, and then from the outer legs to the outer knee. And then once I get this position in my pelvis, remember that my pelvis is my foundation, the connection into my blanket. And then from here, I want to lift up through the sides of the waist, drawing my rib cage back. Engage the shoulder blades on my back, and what that does, it opens up the chest, so the pectoralis major is going to fan outward, and then the anterior deltoid, which is the front of this shoulder joint, you want it to go backward. So by doing that, by lifting up, engaging your back muscle, this will help to fan and open up the chest. We call it in yoga broadening the collarbones, which is this extension here. Okay, once you extend up through the back, okay, relax the outer legs. Close your eyes with the palm of the hands pointed upward on the top of your legs, on the top of your thighs. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose. And we're going to do this on our own. After your 5th breath, we're going to slowly bring the chin downward, and then slowly open your eyes. gaze up. Good. Okay, now from here, we're in Sukhasana. We're going to start with just moving our spine. So we're going to start with a side stretch and then also a twist. So what I want to do is I'm going to place a block on the side. You can use a higher block or a lower block. You want to make sure that your pelvis stays on the blankets. So when I extend to the side, I want to do about an arm's distance. Okay, and I want to engage my shoulder blades on my back, lift up through my torso. And then from here I want to extend the block a little bit further away. Okay, push the heel of the hand, but I must maintain connection with the blanket, with my pelvis. And then I'm going to lift up and then just bring my right arm, or would be your left arm facing me, in line with my ear. Okay? And then the arm that's pressing, you're going to press into the heel of the hand, engage the shoulder blade on your back. And you can also turn to look up at your thumb. Take a deep breath. And then you're going to press down into your pelvis and then lift with the top arm to come up. And then take your block on the other side. Put it about an arm's distance. Remember, when we're stretching, we always lift up before moving to the side. So I want to lift my torso up, draw the rib cage back, take a deep breath. Okay, and then start to bring the arm up in line with my ear. Bring it up in line with your ear. And you're also externally rotating the shoulder back. Okay, externally rotating means I'm turning away from the midline. Okay, and then from here I'm going to reach out, move my block to where I feel comfortable that I can keep my pelvis on the blanket, but at the same time getting a nice extension. Okay, so I'm going to lift up, stretch up, and then make sure that I'm pressing the heel of the hand into the block, and make sure my sit bones, most importantly, is my foundation, which is my sit bones connection with the blankets. And then I can also turn to look up if I'm balanced and I don't have any neck issues or vertigo. If you have inner ear issues, you don't want to turn your head to look up. You want to keep your head straight and even sometimes downward. Okay? Sometimes you have to play around with those positions of the head. And then we're going to press into our pelvis, and then I use my top arm on an inhale to come up. And then I'm going to change the crossing of my legs. So when I do this, I'm trying to connect the back shin with the front calf. And then you want to let your feet just relax. This connection from your legs, where the crossing is a connection and a stability measure that helps in this position, along with, this is Louise, along with the sit bones. So here, lift up, so press down. So that means pressing down with your pelvis just by connecting the sit bones is pressing down. Draw the rib cage back, lift up through the sides of the waist, and then extend, lift the top arm, reach out towards the block, pull up, and then if you need to stretch it a little bit away, for me I need it a little bit further. And then from here, I'm going to extend up and over. So the hand that is pressing, I want to make sure that the shoulder blade of that arm is going into my back, so that my shoulder isn't coming forward. And then this top arm is in line with the ear. Okay, as I draw the rib cage back, and then I can turn to look up at the thumb. Or I can keep my head forward, or I can turn my head down. Okay, and then press into the pelvis by connecting with the sit bones, and then you're going to lift on an inhale to come up. Now connect again My cats are out because I have one really sick cat I'm taking care of. So the other one is with me. So this is Louise. Come on, Louise. So here we go. So we're gonna lift up, extend up through the sides of the waist. Okay, keep the pelvis connected. Use the heel of the hand, and then the top arm stays in line with the ear. Okay, and I can extend that a little bit further. Then make sure that the shoulder blade of the arm that's connected to the block is connecting into your back, drawing the rib cage back, and then you can turn to look up if you're balanced and you don't have any neck issues. Okay, press down into the pelvis, lift with the top arm with an inhale to come up. We're going to change the crossing of our legs. This is really good just for opening up the spine. And you're going to bring your blocks behind you. Okay, like so. And we're going to do what's called Parivrtta Sukhasana, which is a revolved pose, an easy pose, which is Sukhasana. Any revolving pose where you're turning the spine is like the wringing of the toxins of the body, okay? And so when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you move slowly and controlled through the movement. So I sit evenly into my pelvis, lift up through the torso. And in order for me to lift and turn, I want to pull up, draw the ribcage back, and then I'm going to reach back for the block, which should be behind, would be your left pelvis and my right pelvis. And then here I'm going to place the back of the hand on the outside of the leg. Lift up. So the purpose of this is to slightly turn the spine while I'm pulling up and lifting the chest, keeping the pelvis even. Okay, take a deep breath, move the shoulder blades in the back, lift and fan the chest, turn to look over your left shoulder. And then come back to the center, and now we're going to go to the other side. So you want to make sure your block is behind you, behind the hip. You don't want to use the floor unless you have really long arms, because you don't want to fall to the side. You want to stay lifted and straight in your spine. So we lift up, take a deep breath, and turn, but from the lifted position, and you want to create room for your organs. Okay, reach back, connect with the hand behind the back and right behind the pelvis and the hip. Okay, lift, press the back of the hand on the outside of the leg. Lift, turn. Okay, and then when you're turning, you want to connect the shoulder blades in the back. Lift and fan the chest, look over your right shoulder. And you're pressing the back of your left hand on the outside of your right leg, if you're facing me. And then release, we're going to change the crossing of the legs. So you always want to do both sides, and that means changing the crossing of the legs. So again, we lift, make sure that your tailbone is moving downward. If you have your tailbone moving downward, that means you have your core connected, your rib cage is in, you're lifting up, and you want to breathe. Remember to breathe through each motion. So we breathe, lift, turn, reach back, and then press the back of the hand. As I do that, I want to lift and have a little more mobility the second time, and turn. And look over my shoulder. So it would be your left shoulder. Make sure that that arm is not rolling forward. And then come back to the center. So when I do my reach, I want to make sure that this shoulder is not collapsing. I want to keep it that the anterior deltoid, which is the front of your shoulder joint, going back, externally rotating. Anything externally is rotating away from the midline, and your midline is here. So we lift, take a breath, reach back. First connect. Your foundation is what is touching the floor, what is touching your blocks. That is your stability. Then I press the back of the hand, lift, turn, keeping my tailbone down, drawing up. Don't allow the shoulder to roll forward, and see if you can turn a little bit more. And then release. Feels wonderful. Now we're going to go to standing. So we're going to move the blankets aside, and then just have your blocks. I would have them available. We're going to use them, and I'm also going to show you with a chair. So let me grab a chair. Some of you need a chair, and sometimes I use a chair. You know, practicing yoga or any type of movement where you're extending and working on range of motion, you always want to be cautious and careful and take your time. You need to practice it at least 2 to 3 times a week to show results in range of motion. So remember that repetition is the key to success in any type of movement therapy. Very important to see results. Even that you're just getting started and moving is success. Then keep it up and you will see amazing results. So we're going to bring our feet together. Okay, so I want to have in what's called Tadasana, which is mountain pose. This pose you could practice every day, and every pose, and perfect it, and it will never be perfect, but you work towards perfection, and you discover new ways of practicing the pose and what your body needs in the process. So I want to bring my inner edges and outer edges of the feet connected to the floor. Okay, so that means my toes are going to spread, to press into my heels, and the outer and inner edges of the feet. I want you to lift up your toes, because what this does, it'll automatically connect your thigh muscles to the bone of the leg, and that means that they engage. The leg muscles engage. Feel that engagement. I want you to keep it as you lower your toes. Keep them spread, because you need that. In yoga, you want your toes and your feet to open. Press down into the heels. Now, bring this part of your thighs back. We call it the top of the thighs. Draw your tailbone down. Draw the ribcage back. So once you do that, now your back of your body is secure and stable. Connect the shoulder blades on the back and then lengthen through the back of the neck. Keep that as you extend both arms up, and this is Urdhva Hastasana arms, upward arm pose. This is really important to practice. It helps to open up everything. And what I want to do with my arms is I want them all the way up in line with my ears, if possible. Some of you may not be able to do this yet. Okay, and in this pose, I want to make sure I keep my rib cage back, that I don't allow the front ribs to come forward. Those are your floating ribs. Okay, keep the tailbone moving down, press into your feet. Draw the arms out to Vimanasana arms. So I want them extending from the center of my body, the midline, to the tip of the fingertips. Okay, and then connect the shoulder blades into the back. Pectoralis major, the big muscle of the chest, fans outward. Take a deep breath, turn the hands downward, slowly lower. Here we're going to repeat it. We're going to move through it a little bit more flowing, but I want you to be aware of all the details. Press into your feet. As you press into your feet, maintain connection with the floor as you extend both arms up on a deep breath, a deep inhale. You want the bicep of the arm, which is the inside of the top part of the arm, facing towards your ears, externally rotating the arms. Take a breath, keep the rib cage in, maintain form. Good, turn the palm of the hands down. Okay, now from here we're going to step out to extended hand over foot pose. So I'm going to bring my arms up, step my feet out. Sometimes you can jump to get them out, but today we're doing gentle yoga, so I would step them out. You want your feet about 3 to 4 feet apart, okay? You want your feet parallel. The outer and inner edges of the feet press, the leg muscles pull up. I want to make sure my rib cage is drawing back, tailbone is moving down. Okay, so I'm just showing you all the things that to think about. Don't let your ankle bones rotate out, press into your feet, and then your arms are going to extend from the center of the chest to the tip of your fingertips. And then I want you to turn your back foot in and your front foot out. Okay, so if you're facing me, you're going to go to your left first. Okay, so your back foot is going to press into the floor, the outer heel, and then your big toe is going to press. You're going to pull up through the sides of your waist, draw your rib cage back. Okay, bring the shoulder blades into the back, extend through the back of the neck, press into your back leg, bend your front leg, keeping your weight in your torso in the center. You're going to bring your when you bend at the hip, the knee goes towards the little toe side of the foot, so your baby toe. And you're going to pull back with the back arm, bend your front leg more, push back, bend the front leg more, and then straighten the leg, turn the back foot in. So now you would be going to your right, okay? And when you lift up the front foot, if you can lift up on the heel, and then slowly lower the toe, the big toe, your big toe, so the outer heel of your back foot is your stability, and then your big toe, and you're gonna fan through your whole foot. Pull up, draw the rib cage back. So I want you to press into your back foot, into your big toe. Once we bend the leg, you're gonna press into the heel of the front leg. So I'm gonna try to almost like if someone was pulling me back, when I bend my front leg at the hip, so this joint here, okay, I wanna stay back. I slowly go into it, stay pulled up. So when I want my knee going towards my little toe, extend, keep form, breathe, and then press into the heel, turn your front foot, and then step back together. Okay, we're gonna do it again, but we're gonna move a little bit more fluidly through it, and then we're gonna go to Uttita Trikonasana. Now this pose we just did is called Viradrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. So start, Tadasana, mountain pose. Bring both arms up. You're going to step both feet apart. Extended hand over foot pose. Uttita Hasta Padasana. Okay, make sure you're in the pose. Turn your back foot in and then lift up on the heel of the front foot. Lower the toe. If you can't lift up due to balance, don't worry about it. It took me a lot of practice to do that. Okay. Now pull up, always lift up, draw the rib cage back, press into the back foot, press into the front foot, and you're going to bend the front leg at the hip. Keep pressing back. So I want to keep as though someone is pulling me, and then I want to bend at a comfortable position. Make sure the knee is going towards the little toe side, draw the rib cage back. Gaze over your front arm, straighten the front leg on an inhale, turn that foot in and then the front foot out. So we're switching sides. Make sure that the foot is slightly turned in. The outer heel of that foot presses into the floor. That's your stability. The big toe when your leg is straight. Once I bend the leg, it goes into the heel of the front foot. Draw up through the torso, take a nice deep breath. Bend the front leg. As you bend, you press back into the back leg. Bend, bend, bend. And then wait at a comfortable position. Okay, press into your back foot. Pull back with this back arm. Gaze over the front arm. Make sure your knee is in line with the little toe. Draw the rib cage back. Then press into the front leg. Turn that foot in and step your feet back together. Let's take a moment. Whew. Feels good though. It really opens up, creates movement in your body. Movement is the key to wellness, along with your nutrition. Press into your feet, Tadasana. Okay, draw the ribs back. Engage the shoulder blades, sweep both arms up. Deep breath, keep the rib cage from moving. So when I lift my arms, I don't want to swing my rib cage forward. I have to focus on this because in Latin dance, which I teach a lot of, we bring the rib cage out each time. So in this, the rib cage must maintain a quiet space, a controlled space. Okay, so let's do it again. Press into our feet, Tadasana, swing both arms up at a deep inhale. Continue to Vimanasana. Good, now slowly turn the arms downward. And we're going to take it into Uttita Trikonasana, which is triangle pose. So I'm going to show for a lot of you, because I know a lot of you who practice are probably limited in range of motion. And a lot of people who do this pose do it incorrectly. They go into the pose and to get to the position, they bend their legs or they jeopardize their back. So you want to make sure that you're doing it sideways. So I'm going to show it with a chair and then I'll show it with the blocks. And then also how you can do it connected to the leg. So we start in Tadasana, bring the arms up, step your feet wide apart. So you want to get to extended hand over foot pose. Turn your back foot in and your front foot out. So you always want to make sure that the front heel is lined up to the instep of the back foot. Okay, make sure that also your pelvis is not swinging to the side, that you're going to keep your abdominal muscles connected to keep your pelvis stable. Okay, I want about 3 to 4 feet between my feet. The wider the better. Okay, line up your chair right behind your right leg, closer to your right ankle bone. So what I want to do is draw up to the torso, press into my back heel, the big toe of the front foot, and then I would extend sideways. So this could be a little bit further. So here, what I want to do is bring my hand to my hip because I'm going to focus on making sure my back heel is pressed, my big toe. Okay. Once I have that connection with the floor, which is my foundation, I draw the rib cage back, tailbone down. Okay, engage the shoulder blades, open the chest, then I can extend the arm. So I want to create this line coming across and open the chest, fingers are open, and then pull my head back. Make sure that my head is back and not hanging forward. Okay, press into my feet, lift with my top arm to come up. Okay, and then I would do the other side. Now, I'm going to show it with the blocks. I would say a lot of you need this height. Okay, and as you get better and better with time, some days though you may need the chair, some days you may need the blocks. Our body changes on a day-to-day basis. So you always need to adjust on where your body is on that day. Don't assume it. Always feel how you feel, evaluate it, and then make a very smart decision. So press into your feet, bring your arms up, step your feet apart, okay, extended hand over foot pose. Turn your back foot in, your front foot out, and then I want to make sure that my block is right behind my ankle bone. Okay, I want to draw up, keep my pelvis still, lift up. When I go into this pose, I make sure my feet are stable, my back heel is pressing my big toe mount of the front foot. Keep my pelvis still. On an inhale, extend sideways. So I want the heel of the hand pressing into the block. That is also my foundation because I'm connected to the floor. The block is connected to the floor. So I'm going to first make sure that I'm pressing into my back leg, the big toe of the front leg. Draw the ribcage back, open the chest, and then I can open up and extend this arm up in line with the hand that's pressing into the block. Draw my head back so I'm in one line. Okay, and then from here I can press into my feet and I can turn from the back of the head or keep my head here. Sometimes I don't even turn, I keep it here. Press into the feet, take a deep inhale, press into your feet, and you're gonna lift with this arm to help you come up. Turn your back foot in and your front foot out. So first you want to make sure that your block is behind your ankle bone, okay? The back heel is your stability, the big toe of your front foot is also your stability. This is a straight leg pose, so you don't want to bend your legs. If you bend your legs, then you must use a higher support because then you're defeating the purpose of the pose. Okay, make sure you have a wide stance. Lift up, take a deep breath, extend sideways. Okay, make sure that you press the heel of the hand into the block that's behind the ankle bone. Back heel presses, front big toe. And then I extend the top arm up in line with the other arm. Okay, draw your ribs back. Keep your feet pressing. Bring your head back. Okay, now be in the pose. Being in the pose means find the quiet spot, although you're still thinking of the actions that you're doing. You don't have time to think about anything else. Extend up, pull up more, press into your feet, and with an inhale, lift with the top arm to come up, turn your feet, step your feet back together, and then stand in Tadasana. Take a deep breath, interlace your fingers, extend from the elbow to the wrist, Urdhva Badanguliasana arms, inner wound arms, as we extend them up. Urdhva means upward, so I'm going to extend the arms up in Tadasana. Again, pressing into my feet, bringing the top of the thighs back, tailbone down. Draw the rib cage back, shoulder blades move into the back. And then I want to externally rotate the arm, the shoulder joint. And now if you cannot straighten your arms in line with your ears, you could use a yoga strap, which I'm going to show. Or you can repeat Urdhva Hastasana arms. And then release, and then we're going to change the interlacing of the fingers. So I change the interlacing, extend from the elbow to the wrist, press into my feet, extend the arms up in line with the ears. Keep pressing into your feet, draw the ribcage back. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Externally rotate the arms at the shoulder joints. You're basically turning the biceps back and the triceps forward. And then release. Now if your shoulders are tight, you can do Urdhva Hastasana, which is sometimes easier for people to get into that position. Okay, we're going to go through a couple more poses. So we're going to take it into, we're going to do Ardha Uttanasana, which is half forward bend. So I'm going to show it, and then we'll do the full Uttanasana, which is a forward extension, forward bend. So you can use a chair or a wall. I'm going to show it with the chair. This pose I do every day because it helps to open up the lumbar spine. It helps with many ailments of the body, and also where the body is tight and has inflammation a lot through the lumbar spine and the pelvis. So here, you're going to start with your chair, and I'm going to walk back. When I walk back, I want to be conscious of where I'm placing my feet. So I'm going to walk back, and I want my feet parallel, hip width apart. Okay, and I can keep walking until I have a full extension. And I want to make sure my feet are parallel and pressing into both inner and outer parts of my feet. Now I could walk back a little bit more because I want my feet, my pelvis, to not be behind my feet. So I want to extend, keep my eyes up, draw the ribcage back. When I press into my feet, I want to draw my thigh muscles to the bone. Okay, and then draw the ribcage back into the hair. So I want this going in and not out. I want this in. Okay, and then the arms, again, the shoulder blades move in, turning the biceps towards the ceiling, the triceps down. Take a deep breath, walk forward. So you would repeat that 2 to 3 times. Now, I can also do it a little bit further, more of an Uttanasana. So I place my blocks about hip width apart. Okay, and depending on your flexibility, but I would always start higher to work on your pose. So go feet hip width apart. And I'm showing it sideways so you can see. Draw the ribcage in. You're going to place your hands on the back of your hips and lift your chest. And you want your legs straight and your feet parallel. Okay, draw the ribcage in as much as you can. Okay, connect the shoulder blades, extend up, look up, and then extend forward. So I want to control my extension. Bring the hands, the heel of the hands on top of the blocks, and then watch how I move my weight. So I don't want my weight here. I want my weight forward. And you won't fall. Keep your heels pressing. So I want to draw my ribcage in, connect the shoulder blades, keep my legs straight. I want to make sure that my arms, again, are turning at the socket, externally rotating, and then keep my chest lifted. Then I'm going to bend my elbows to the side, extend my torso, and I don't want to bring my head towards my legs. I want to extend straight down. And then take a breath, straighten the arms. Okay, we're going to repeat that. Louise wants to do it with us, and extend. Straighten. Okay, and then from here, bring one hand to your hip as you press into your feet, always. And then extend up. Okay, and then stand in Tadasana. Now I'm going to show it from the front. You can do it with the blocks a little bit lower. Okay, once you have practiced this pose many times, stand with your feet apart, hip width, bring your hands. So I always cup the thumb and the pointer finger behind my hips. Lift the chest, press into your feet, connect the shoulder blades. Elbows going back, extend up. Deep breath, keep your legs strong. Extend forward, place the hands. Okay, here, press into the hands. So now I want to bring the weight of my body forward. Keep my legs straight. Draw the ribs in. And then from here, I'm going to extend by bending my elbows. Keep pressing into your feet. Take a deep breath. Allow your head to relax. Straighten your arms, press into your feet. Lift the chest. Repeat, deep breath, bend the elbows. Keep pressing into your feet. Extend, exhale. Okay, now press into your feet. Bring one hand to the hip, the next hand, and lift up. Good, and then bring your feet together, stand in Tadasana. Make sure inner edges of the feet pressing. Draw the rib cage back, lift the chest, engage the shoulder blades. Feels nice. Okay, we're going to move to the floor. So what I want you to do is grab a blanket. You can get these blankets on Amazon. And they have them in some of the stores, but right now it's hard to go to the store, so Amazon has them. And then we're going to lie it like so. Okay. Have another 2 blankets available. We're going to do Adho Mukha Virasana. So it's basically child's pose, but to do child's pose correctly, it takes some practice. So we're going to kneel on our knees, and then the first time we're going to bring the big toes together so you can see. And actually, let me move this back just a little bit. Bring your big toes together. So the legs are going to open as wide as needed for the torso. You're going to fold the blanket so the folded edge goes where the back of the legs and the knee joint meet. Okay, you may need 2, maybe 3 blankets. Open the legs up wide enough for your torso. Sit back. Okay, what I want to do is as I extend forward, this is wonderful for opening up the lumbar spine. I want to keep my buttocks on the blankets. So I'm going to extend, so I keep that connection, keep my buttocks going back, and some of you may need a blanket here, like so, or you may have to fold it twice in half. It depends how your range of motion is. I'm going to walk forward with my hands. Okay? And I want to keep my buttocks going back towards my heels. And then I'm going to extend forward, relaxing my head. I would move the blanket so the top of your forehead rests on the edge of the blanket. So keep your buttocks down, extend, move your shoulder blades in. Take a deep breath. Keep pressing into the thumb and the index finger. And then slowly walk your hands up. Now if you're able to keep your buttocks down on your heels, okay, when I was, I have recovered from rheumatoid arthritis. When I first started practicing, I could not keep my buttocks down on my heels. I had to always use blankets. So if I want to make sure that when I do extend, that I keep this connection. So I want to lift my chest. I have to feel, am I sitting with my buttocks on my heels? I can feel that. Keep them. Keep extending. Keep moving the buttocks back. Keep extending. You can adjust your width of your legs. Move your shoulder blades in. Keep pressing with the heel of the hand. So this helps to open up all of here. Keep the buttocks going down this way. Okay, take a deep breath and slowly walk yourself up. Now, this is only if you've practiced for a very long time and you're able to touch your head to the floor. Most people need support. Very few I've ever seen can do this correctly without a blanket. So you want to lift your chest, lift up, take a deep breath, walk yourself forward. Okay, first keep the connection, keep your buttocks moving back. So you have to keep pushing down and back. Extend by keeping pressure on the heel of the hand, the thumb, and the index finger. And then slowly extend. Slowly walk up. Bring your knees together. And if you sit here, this is called Vajrasana. Some of you may need the blanket under you. So Vajrasana, I'm sitting with my buttocks going downward. I want the rib cage going back. I'm going to lift and open the chest. Interlace the fingers. Extend from the elbow to the wrist. And then bring the arms up. Draw the rib cage back. Pull up through the torso. Release. Okay, and you can do this again without the blanket. So I'll show it again. So interlace, change the crossing of the fingers. Make sure that your buttocks are on your heels. And then you're going to sweep the arms up, drawing the rib cage back, pull up. From the sides of the waist, extend up. Take a deep breath. And release. Good. Let's lie on our back, but first what you can do, you can either open up your blanket if you want the blanket for support, or you can do it without the blanket. Okay? It depends on your spine. If you need support, a little more support for your spine, if you're a little bit more bony, then use it. Okay, we're going to lie on our back. When you lie on your back, you want to make sure that both of your feet are pressed. You're going to slowly bend the elbows to lower yourself down. And then also have a blanket for your head, so the folded edge goes right to the top of your shoulders, and then your cervical vertebrae, which is the spine that's in the back of the neck, are supported. Most people need support. If you do not, you can do it without the blanket. But it makes it a little bit more possible to get this opening of the chest and the shoulders going down. But keep your left leg bent, extend your right leg in, just hold for a moment. Slowly bringing that right leg in. Take a deep breath, extend. So the heel of the left leg extends, and then the center heel bone of that left leg and the top of this thigh press down. I want to keep my pelvis on the floor, keep my shoulders on the floor. Okay, you can extend through your big toe of the leg that is straight and extended. And then slowly bend the straight leg, lower the bent leg, switch legs. So it's better if you connect on the back of the thigh, draw the leg in, relax the foot, extend the bent leg to straighten, pressing the center heel bone into the floor, and extend through the inner leg and the big toe. Keep your shoulders down, keep fanning the chest open, and then bend the leg that is extended and lower. Okay, roll to your right side for a moment. We're going to use our strap. We're going to do one more pose called Supta Padangustasana. So it's lying down, big toe pose. I do this one twice a day. Really helps opening up the body. So many different, helps with the hips, sciatica, lower back issues. So lie back, make sure you come back with support. So you want a yoga strap and make sure that your head support, the folded edge, is connected to the top of your shoulders. So here, you're going to keep one of your legs bent, extend. So you're going to first bend. You could bend your left or right leg. Place the strap around the metatarsal band or the top of the ball of the foot. And then my arms, when I hold my arms, I'm not pulling. My arms are extended and relaxed, with the strap just barely connected, enough so I can press. So my leg that is straight is pressing up into the strap as though I'm trying to break the strap. And I want to then open my toes, extend from the inner leg. Okay, keep my pelvis down. Keep the top of the outer leg down. And then I'm going to straighten the bent leg. So the leg that straightens, I want the back of that leg on the floor. No space. Keep the toes pointed towards the ceiling. Keep your shoulders and your chest lifted. And don't fight with the strap. Okay, if you're really, really tight, you're going to probably want to keep this leg bent. Okay, so in the pose, press the center heel bone of the straight leg. Keep the top of the thigh down. Don't let the leg that's straight, that foot flop out. Keep the toes pointed towards the ceiling. The leg that's extended towards the ceiling, extend through the inner leg. Keep that, basically your femur bone, which is the thigh bone, moving down towards the floor. And then slowly bend the extended leg, lower the straight leg, the top leg that was pointed towards the ceiling. Rest for a moment. So remember, your arms in this pose are not fighting. You want to use the strap, so bend the top leg, switch legs. Place the strap around just below the toes, the metatarsal band. You want to make sure that your strap is at a good distance, and my top leg is no further than 90 degrees. It is not a hamstring stretch. That would be something different. And then I want to try, this is my tight side, to keep this outer hip going down towards the floor. The femur bone going down, all the muscles of the leg engaged. Okay? So I'm going to press into the strap, the inner leg, which is the inside of your leg. You want to extend through it, up to the big toe. And then extend the leg that's bent so it is straight. Press the center heel bone, and the leg that's extended and connected to the floor, again, that leg extends to the inner leg. Keep the back of the thigh down, and you want to press as though you're breaking through the strap. Keep the shoulders down, relax your face. And now with an inhale, bend the straight leg connected on the floor, and then lower the top leg. Move your strap away from you. Now we're going to prepare for Shavasana, so you can keep this blanket connected. You can also fold it a different way. You can also fold it, so let me roll to my side. You can also fold it so it is like this. Some of you who may not need as much support, you could also hold it like this. For me, I prefer this. I have the best support here. Okay, when we prepare for Shavasana, I want to make sure that the top of the shoulders are connected to the blanket. Lift my pelvis, and I'm going to move my buttock flesh away from my spine so my spine connects with the floor. And then I want to make sure nothing is around me that I'm going to touch when I bring the palm of the hands up and then extend one leg at a time. And when I extend, I want the legs to relax at the top of the hip joint, through the leg to the ankle joint. And allow your shoulders to relax outward, again, keeping the chest lifted, but without physically holding it. You want to totally let go. So I relax my toes, relax your legs, relax your rib cage, your back. Relax your shoulders, your fingers, your arms. And then close your eyes if you haven't already. Relax your face. Relax the tongue. Close your eyes. And in Shavasana, is the most important pose, you must relax your mind, most of all. Let's hold Shavasana for 2 minutes. Remember to breathe normally. Now slowly turn the palm of your hands towards the floor. Then one leg at a time. Relax for a moment. And then you're going to roll to your right side. Bring your left hand on the floor. And relax. Take a moment. And then you're going to use your left hand and your left arm to press to come up to sitting. And then we're going to sit in Sukhasana. Crossing your legs, lift up to the torso, bring the palm of the hands together at sternum level, fingers together. Slightly connect the thumb against the bottom of the sternum. Lift up, opening up the chest. Engaging the shoulder blades, take a deep breath. Bow the head to the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with me today, and I hope you enjoyed my gentle yoga and yoga therapeutics. Remember, yoga is to help with your inner peace, your inner self. It's about you and taking care of you. So please take the time to take care of yourself. Thank you so much, Bridgette Maria.